I think we can all agree that as Christians, we want to be and strive to be generous towards others. I mean, it says pretty clearly in the Bible many times about the importance of generosity. For example, 2 Corinthians 9:7 says, "Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver." First and foremost, I think the first thing that comes to people's minds when they hear generosity is money. And while I'm sure we all want to be generous with our money, or at least we hope we do, that's not always the easiest thing to do. I know for me growing up, money was nowhere near a luxury. This made it difficult for me to part with and give it away when I had pretty little for myself as it was. Now, as I grew up and learned the importance of being generous with my money and how the Lord will always provide, I also learned about how we can be generous with other things in our life, not just our money. My father was a great demonstrator of that towards me, my mother, and the rest of my family. So besides being a great role model of how to be generous with our family's money, he also showed me what it looked like to be generous with your time and actions. He was always willing to sacrifice his time to help me with school, baseball, whatever else I needed. I can't count the amount of hours we spent in our backyard playing catch or fielding ground balls. It was always so impressive to me how he always had time to be with my siblings and me. My mom always explained it to me using the 5 love languages. My dad's top love language is acts of service, so this is his main way of being generous towards others. He is always willing to give up a lot of his time to help others with something, whether it be someone moving, an outdoor project, or whatever it is, he's always willing to sacrifice his time. Now the same principle goes for the other 4 love languages. Quality time. Being generous with your time and how you spend it with others. We can be intentional by spending quality time with people who need that, and that will look differently for each person. That may be doing an activity with them that they love, or going out to get some food, or even just being around them. If quality time is a person's love language, we can be generous with our time towards them. Next, words of affirmation. We can just as easily be generous with our words as we are generous with our time. Speaking freely and above and beyond to encourage another person is a great way to love them. Next, physical touch. Now I'm just going to clearly state that when we are generous in this way, we are not just going around hugging and touching people freely. Instead, we can look to encourage and comfort others with hugs and healthy touches, even when it may not be super comfortable for us. Lastly, giving gifts. While this may tie directly into being generous with our money, our gifts do not have to be expensive for them to be generous. They instead can be very intentional or exceed the other person's expectations. Now I think the bottom line when it comes to being generous is that generosity implies sacrifice. In order to be generous, you are giving over and above the usual or comfortable amount. Meaning, maybe you're going out of your comfort zone to spend intentional time with someone or give someone a hug that may usually be uncomfortable for you. Or that might mean giving more than a normal amount of your time to help someone finish a project. Generosity must cost you something. You must sacrifice something in doing so. And this giving must be based on your love for God and others, and the desire to bless the hearts of those you're being generous towards. So the next time you hear the word generous or generosity, and you immediately think of money, try and remember that's not the only thing you can be generous with. There's a lot of people in this world who need our love, and the love of Jesus. And there's a whole lot of other ways that we can give.